Before we get started, you guys need to know that this was a fight to get the internet to work. We had to try for about 20 minutes to get Jules' internet to work, right? So we could actually do this interview. So for the most part, the sound is good, but the video is not super great. Don't worry about it. It's the content of the interview that is important, not what you see, but what you hear. We've got Jules from Jules, because Jules isn't actually a YouTuber. She wants to be, but I met her last week during a live stream and thought she was really, really interesting. She is a trusted mod for I think it's was it Tags? Was it Tags and B, I think? And
Tag and B at Life Done Free.
There you go. And also Gray Man Prepping. So she's a trusted agent, and she's been doing this for a while, you know. And today we're going to talk about three things. Prepping as a lone single older woman, prepping in a small or unconventional spaces, and budgeting for preps on low income. But before we do that, I want to thank my supporters from the Patreon. If you like what I'm doing and you want to support the channel, the Patreon is the best way to do it. It's basically a win-win. I'll leave a link below and you can do what you want with it. I also want to remind everybody about PrepStock 2023. Tickets are still available. I will also leave a link below. Get in there and get them. There's only 5 camping spots left, so now is the time to get them. Waiting for a couple more months is not going to do it. It's the first week of October. Okay, so this is your first time, Jules, of being on the channel. First time ever. Tell us a little bit about you and how you started on your preparedness journey.
Little bit, but not a lot about me, really. Nothing special. I started prepping in April of 2020. You could see where things are going. A lot of the conspiracy theories, which I did that rabbit hole stuff. I started off watching a content creator who was talking about gold and silver.
Okay.
And you see a lot of the people in the comments, oh, it must be nice. It must be better. I can't afford it. And he actually gave all of the, I wish, included me, but he gave us ideas, and that's basically where it started.
Okay.
And that quickly grew into a very hyper-focused, what am I going to need? What different scenarios do I want to prep for?
Okay.
And just kept growing from there.
Okay. Yeah, I only started, you know, I was a Marine for 20 years, and so every day was prepping, but I didn't know I was doing it. And then, you know, with the election of old B-Rock, you know, during his second term, we quickly realized that, wait a minute, we're going down the wrong path. And that's when I really got into preparedness. But I always try to get other people's stories, because people start to prepare for their own reasons, you know, and I think it's important that those things are relayed to other people so they can get perspective, you know. So
right.
Tell us about prepping as a lone single older woman.
So I noticed in a lot of comment sections, a lot of live streams, a lot of older women that would like to, but seem to think they can. Me being 51, I kind of feel that way. And I felt the same way, pretty much isolated from everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And trying to figure out how to do this with being a woman, for one. You don't have the strength the guy does. You're older. Things don't work the way they used to. And I found I had to change my mindset. Without the right mindset, you're just going to keep yourself down in that lower area of I don't know how, I don't know what to do, I don't know if I can, I'm old, I'm broken, I'm this, I'm that. And you got to change that to start with.
Mm-hmm.
Because actually you can do anything. You actually find fairly young. We forget them. Fighting feelings of the fear and helplessness that a lot of women have. I need a guy to protect me. I need this. Well, you're going to have to, which means you're going to have to learn. And learning what to do and keeping, even with as you get into the prepping and getting your stuffs, learning what you need and keeping everything in balance to what you can actually handle as far as like your bug out bag. I heard you and people on your stream and others that their bug out bags are incredibly heavy. I never did that, and I've tried thinking, I mean, you shove all this, you shove all that, and it's too dang heavy. You got to balance what it is to your own particular abilities.
Mm-hmm.
That's the main point of it. But being the lone older woman, number one, change your mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Get out of the helplessness thing. I need this person, or I need these people, or I can't do this. I can't. Yeah, you can. My grandparents did it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah.
Yeah. And, I completely agree with you too. Your body can only do so much. I can carry a heavier bag because I'm a little bit bigger. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
People like to use math. If one person will say 25%, another person will say 20%. I used to do long range hiking. I've done ultralight hiking. I know exactly what I can and cannot carry.
Right.
And then from the perspective of a woman, exactly, change your mindset. You can never believe that your brain can never tell you that you're a 6 foot, 500-pound muscle warlord when you're only 5'2",
Right.
110 pounds. You know what I'm saying? So you have to
Mm-hmm.
change your mindset and kind of think maybe a little smarter, not harder, because
Right,
you gotta
exactly.
find ways. You know what I'm saying? It's like I always
Mm-hmm.
tell people that it always comes down to leverage. You see these little bitty Chinese dudes whooping up on these big old martial arts guys, and it's all because they understand leverage.
Yes.
So you definitely have to do that.
And you have to take everything into account.
Yeah.
Older people, the muscles don't work like they used to. Some people have health problems. I know I have. And you got to think, prep for your abilities that you have now and work on your shortcomings to make yourself better so that you can advance in being able to do a little more here and there.
Definitely.
I think I heard what was it? It was either tag or spag that your prep. It's also prep for your own needs right now, but look, in the future, I mean, even if it's a day or two, a week or two, and work towards these achievements and make little achievements.
Yeah. That's I tell people all the time.
Said that
how do you go ahead?
Prepping is not a sprint; it's a marathon.
Perfect. Okay, well the great answers. Let's move on to prepping in small or unconventional spaces. What are your thoughts on that?
It's something I don't hear any other content creators talk about. Always talking about ways to secure your house or cabin or yada yada. Well, a portion of the population, to include me, don't live in those. You also, apartments, which people talk about, that's great, because that gives you a whole different perspective. You have your own pros and cons for that. But like me, I live in a 30-foot RV. Things are set up differently. Things are not quite as secure as a regular house or an apartment.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to adjust for all that.
Yeah.
And when you're looking to preps or put your preps or whatever, you're only limited to so much space. And if you're trying to hide things, I've heard people say, under the bed, behind the couch. Yeah, that doesn't always work. I don't exactly have, I have a small love seat in the living room, but I don't exactly have all that, so I got to find conventional spaces. That's like for your precious metals. You got to have them hidden away.
Mm-hmm.
So you got to find unconventional spaces to secure that stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the very important type stuffs.
Yeah.
And I was surprised, actually, about some of the places that I had found, even in an RV. There's little hidden extra spaces I didn't even realize.
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to look at that. It's kind of like whenever you're training a baby or whatever, when they start walking, look at things from their vantage point. So you can cut off all the dangers and this, that, and protect for that. Well, you do the same thing with preps. You have your most important stuff. If you need it secured in a spot, potential zombies might come in and look for. You don't want it in your closet, so find someplace hidden or make someplace hidden.
Gotcha. Yeah, it's yeah, I lived in an RV for a while down in Florida, and you're right. There are some little cubbies that no one ever even thinks about. Things that I mean, but we don't want to give away your secret hiding spaces. So, yeah, as far as I tell a lot. I'll be honest with you. A lot of preppers on the as far as content developers, they don't talk about it because it's a problem they can't solve. There's only one solution to living in to having long-term preps in a confined space, and that's to stack it to the roof. And it's out in the open. It's just basically your rolling storage shed, and that's the only real solution. Either that
and
or you get a trailer.
And as you know, you run out of space really quick.
Oh, yeah.
So prepping 2020, but they added up really fast.
Yeah.
So then you also have to think about, what am I going to do when I run out of space?
Mm-hmm.
Because you can't just run out of space and go, okay, I don't have any room for it anymore. No, you got to think ahead.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I tell you, one of the good things about RVs is most of them have a reasonably good-sized water tank for drinking water. So that's kind of a benefit.
This one here, I don't know if it does or not. I mean, I know it's got one, but I don't know if you'd call it reasonable.
Yeah. Well, most of them
are around 120
like
gallons. Off-site storage, I don't know if mine's 35?
Mm-hmm.
Ish.
Well, if you have a 35-gallon tank on your RV, then you already have more water stored than most preppers do.
Well, I have more in off-site storage too.
There you go. That definitely works. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to...
RVs are something else because they also catch fire easily. So you got to think about that.
Yeah, you could lose everything. You definitely got to be careful.
Don't keep your preps all in one place.
Absolutely. All right, so let's move on to budgeting for preps on a low income. What are your thoughts on that?
It goes right back to those people in the comments. I can't afford to have any money. Trust me. I think I figured it out. I'm on Social Security Disability and SSI. combined, I bring in approximately $931-ish, more or less. I don't know. But you got to, again, always think ahead. And nobody's coming to save you, so you need to figure it out. Whether that's go get a part-time job. If you can't do that, then think of something else. Because I know some people are either older, disabled, and so on. I understand that because I'm there. One, I know I've heard a lot of people talk about it, and paying down your debts is the big one. Because if you pay off your debt, little ones at a time, take little steps, pay it off, then you have that extra money. Then I remember whenever I was talking about, I started watching gold and silver content creator, and being one of those, my kids afford it, and he actually got kind of a rant video one time. It was directed at the Must Be Nice people. And it was actually cool because it kicks me into gear. And that would be ideas for what you could do. Like, go on your house, your storage shed, whatever, and sell off all the crap you don't need. If you have a tool that doubles more so as a hanger, put it off. That gives you extra money. If you have anything really, and I did to begin with. I went through a storage shed that we had. I started selling off a lot of stuff that wasn't necessary. And I think out of a week, and I think I came up with like $800 or $900. And with that, that's like I said, that's where it started. And it just blossoms from there. And each step you take is you feel good. And when you start feeling good about yourself and your accomplishments, you didn't need daddy government. You don't need anybody else because you're making these steps on your own. You're protecting yourself. All you got to do is put your brain to work.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. You know, I remember the first time I moved to Florida, I had so much stuff, I just started selling it. I made a web page. I put it on everything. And I still ended up I made $2,000 or $3,000, and it actually funded the move, you know. So you can definitely sometimes, you know, unfortunately, Americans, we're a little spoiled and we are consumers, but we're also baby hoarders. And a lot of times we don't know. We look around and, oh my God, I have so much junk that does nothing. And we need to move away from that kind of stuff.
Example, though, is the treadmill that more doubles as the hanger, your coat hanger or whatever.
Yeah, the treadmill or one of those portable exercise bikes. Those are the best.
Yeah. And if you're not using the thing, get rid of it. Take the money and do something that will ensure your future.
Yeah, exactly. Reallocate. Reinvest. Okay, dynamite. Those are great answers. Great answers. Let's say, okay. So I think we've covered everything, you know, and it's been a great conversation. Is there anything that you want to say before we go, or anything that you want to talk about before we go?
Honestly, I mean, there's so much we could talk about, but not really. I'm sure that things will be some ideas from this conversation.
Nice. Okay.
All of them feel they don't have the ability. Yeah, you.
Good advice. Okay, so I hope you had a good time, and you definitely have an invitation to come back anytime. I'll be keeping an eye out for you in the mods, so now that I know who you are. Thanks for being on the live stream. And to the viewers, if you got this far, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as check the bell to make sure you are notified when new videos are uploaded. All right. As usual, stay safe. Have a great day, and I'll see you when I see you. Bye-bye.